The history of migration in Africa explains that the population of Central Africa comes from Egypt and Ethiopia. They have fled from wars and hunger to settle all over Africa. When they arrived in Central Africa, they found an indigenous community called Pygmies that has lived in the area for centuries. These pacifist people likes to live in isolation to avoid confrontation. Since then, they have kept their way of life. They live only by hunting, fishing, and gathering. In spite of modernism, most of the laws in favor of improving the living conditions of indigenous people are not applied, and these people remain more discriminated than ever in terms of health, education, economy, etc. In the indigenous community of Bambama village in the Republic of Congo, no indigenous child had completed high school till the year 2012. Few children were enrolled in school due to several factors such as stigmatization, marginalization, and lack of money to pay for volunteer teachers, school insurance, and school supplies. Aware that all human beings have the same needs, we decided to create the NGO named Espace Opoko, an organization that deals with the education of indigenous people with the aim of giving them the same opportunities to succeed in school so that they will be able to defend their interests and get out of this difficult situation.
The idea to create this organization came to me when I was 6 years old. At that age, I had to walk 5 kilometers in the forest to go to school. One day, I walked in a heavy rain, got sick, and decided to give up. My grandmother told me that it was not a good idea to drop out. For her, I should go to school and come back to the community one day to change things. That's why, after my studies, I decided to leave my job to dedicate my life to improving things. So, I created Espace Opoko, named after my grandmother, who was called Opoko Emilienne. Espace Opoko is the space of my grandmother where children can benefit from the same advices and the resources of my grandmother in order not to give up.
We started by enrolling 10 children in school in 2012. From 10, we went up to 29, then 70, until we reached 120 children this year in October 2020. Our work consists of enrolling the children in school, paying for all the necessary fees for their education, distributing clothes to avoid stigmatization at school, conducting advocacy activities in schools to clean up the environment so that these children are not marginalized. Also, we distribute food to the families who send their children to school so that they are not forced to take them to the forest to look for food. As a result, so far, for the first time in the history of the community, we have 5 students going to high school this year, 1 student who has graduated from high school and ready to go to college, and 2 first indigenous people in the history who will soon be working for the government in the area of environmental protection. Today, we are committed to renting 3 apartments in 3 different cities in the Republic of Congo to accommodate these young people who have chosen education to improve their living conditions and those of their communities. We provide 100% support for their education, housing, and nutrition in the city. We also take care of their health. For the continuation of our activities in favor of the indigenous people and with the aim of maintaining this achievement, we are collecting funds to continue to support the various expenses. We would like to buy a car to transport those indigenous students who are forced to walk long distances to school. Also, we would like to be the literacy center to teach others to read and write so that they will be able to help children with their homework. This center will also be used as a place for different trainings. Also, a meeting place to introduce them to our Lord Jesus Christ. This year, we received the support of the Boss Baptist Church and several donors to prepare the return to school of the 120 indigenous children. With the church, fundraising is still ongoing. If you too would like to participate in this wonderful adventure, you can contact Pastor Alain Bernard at 418-225-4881 or contribute online on our website www.espaceopoko.com. May God bless you.
Merci, Église baptisée de la Beauce.
Merci, Église baptiste de la Beauce.
Merci, Église baptiste